Hi guys, this is Aashir. I'm an indie game developer and this is the devlog of my new game called Core. It's been a lot of time since I started making this game, but the game has turned out to be great. It was inspired from the Blackthorn Prods game called Piece by Piece. So, I started up the Unity engine and made a new game project. I placed a circle in the center of the scene and gave it a script so that it rotates with respect to the position of the mouse. I placed a triangle enemy in the game. I made several spawn points and gave a script to them to spawn the enemies after some time. I also gave a script to the enemies so that they come to the player. I initially planned to make the spawn point to move along a certain path and spawn the enemies, but that didn't work, so I had to keep them static. I placed a small square inside the scene view and changed its color to yellow and made a prefab out of it. I then made a bullet spawn point close to the circle and gave a script to the circle to spawn a bullet from the spawn point whenever the user presses the left mouse button. This bullet can destroy the enemy when it collides with it. Afterwards, I started to work on the health system. I gave a script to the core so that health is subtracted whenever an enemy collides with a player. I made a score system. I gave a script to the bullet so that score is increased whenever the bullet collides with the enemy. I then started making some new sprites for the different objects. I made a new sprite for the core, the enemies, bullet and the background. I also used the all-in-one sprite shader pack to create this awesome effect on the background. I started to work on the UI. I downloaded a font from the Google Fonts and then placed them inside the Unity's Fonts folder. I used it to create this awesome main menu. I also used the same font and some basic sprites to create the health and score UI. I also made a game over screen and placed score and high score text and a restart button on it. I created a missile system for the game. I first used the triangle sprite for the missile for prototyping. I spent time watching a video on homing missile on Bracky's YouTube channel. I implemented it. I gave a script to it so that it's instantiated whenever the player clicks the right mouse button. It flies here and there randomly till it finds a target and destroys it. I then limited it so that the player can fire only 3 missiles at a time and they are recharged whenever one is destroyed. I created several different power-ups. One gives 1 health to player when it is collected, one makes the bullet which is fired larger, one makes the bullet smaller, one makes it faster and one slower. I then downloaded a music file from the YouTube's audio library and made it the background music of the game. I also gave it a script so that it plays on loop and is not destroyed when the scene is restarted. I added sound effects and particle effects for different things, such as for bullet fire when core's health is subtracted, when the enemy is destroyed, when the missile is fired and when the power-ups are collected. I changed the cursor so the game feel more interesting to play. I exported the game both for Windows and for browsers. I have uploaded the game to itch.io where you can play it for free in your browsers or also download and play it on your PC. Okay guys, now that marks the end of this video. It was a lot of fun creating this game. It took me a lot of time to make, but I am happy with the experience I got from making this game. In the next few days, I'll start working on my new car game. Hope so it will turn out to be great. Also guys, be sure to check out my other games on itch.io. I'm sure you are gonna love them. Also guys, you can support me via Patreon, which will help me in making games and these videos regularly. You can also check out my websites called whatforgaming.com and whatiflaptops.com where I post related to gaming stuff and also about laptops. Okay guys, now that's it. I will be back with some new content soon, so stay tuned. Bye.